And somehow, after I took admission, first month or so, I felt this is not what I want to do. Taking up maths honors as a professional degree, I didn't see a future. We are not just building a business, we're building a living ecosystem. When I say this, what I mean, the biggest learning I would take away from this is it's okay to slow down life, and I learned how to be okay with it. My grandfather, he used to sell ice cream.
Oh. Here we are talking to thought leaders, experts, and startup founders on Unbound with Mamtaa. The journey never stops. As we discover ourselves in these conversations today, I have a guest whom I let him do the honors of definitely introducing himself, but someone who is changing the way India will eat, someone who will change the way we think about food, and someone who is pivoting in a way which has never been thought before. Ramanujan, welcome to the show. Welcome to Unbound with Mamta on the 68th episode today.
Thank you, Mamta. Thank you for having me here on Unbound. I'll quickly introduce myself probably. Yeah. I'm Ramanujan. I'm a young entrepreneur who's been economist and a data scientist before this. I've done many hats as a researcher in this very short span in the last 6-7 years of my career. Things have affected me. I've learned a lot of things, and in the last 6 months, like I said before the conversation, we were talking about pivoting, right? So I've pivoted my career again to start this entrepreneurial journey. And I've chosen the food and agritech space where I'm going to begin my first entrepreneurial journey. And happy to talk about this more as the
Yes,
conversation
as we go along, we
Yeah.
are definitely not spilling all the beans, but very interesting, Ramanujan, from the pedigree and the background that you come from. Somewhere the life is going a full circle also for you.
I mean, I don't know about the full circle aspect yet. I think there's still a long time for that. Like you said, I mean, every part of my life, every time I faced a challenge, I had to see, I had to take up the challenge, either try it, you succeed or fail, and then you pivot. If you succeed, then you continue. Otherwise, I felt I would stop at that moment, and I wanted to achieve more. So the reason I say this, I want to give this context is because I had nothing to do with the world of economics. I was a science student from schooling days. I was very so much into. I mean, my name itself, Ramanujan, right? My dad, he loves math.
Oh,
He finished his PhD in maths,
wow.
and for him, maths was passion. He was a government teacher, right? Even when he named me, he did it because he loved maths so much, and that somehow stood with me for time. And at every chapter of my life, I was so passionate about maths and physics so much that I always thought myself that, okay, when I become big, I'm going to become an astronaut or a physicist. That's what I wanted to be in life. And I had nothing to do with economics whatsoever. After 12th, I've given all of these entrance exams. Back then, we used to call it AIEEE. I remember till today. And I got into a few NITs and a few good engineering colleges back home in Hyderabad. And somehow, after I took admission, first month or so, I felt this is not what I want to do. I wanted to do something to the core of sciences, something very pure. I wanted to be a physicist, I understand how the world works. And from there, I felt being an engineer, I was not able to do that, I felt, in the first month of college. And then I started looking out. And I did not have a lot of exposure to realize that, see, because being a 16-year-old or 15-year-old, all I thought about was how do I be successful in life, right? I did not think that if I do this, then will I be there or not. And back then, I didn't have the exposure to think that maybe in India, if I do physics, I'll be successful. physics was not looked upon like you either had to be an engineer or you had to be a
Medical
profession, right? And especially back home, if you tell somebody that you're going to do anything other than this, they're going to look you down very much. In this scenario, I went online. Internet was a new thing to me, and I started looking up, what other fields exist in the country. Where do people make their careers? And in all of this journey, economics stood out.
So that was your self discovery. Like
Yeah,
you were
that was my first pivot in life.
pivot in life. Okay.
And this pivot happened, and that's when I realized that okay, I faced with a challenge where I did not feel myself or see myself doing engineering. What do I do now?
But you had a research mind. You
Yeah.
will still go and look it up.
And then economics stood out for me.
Yeah.
I told my dad,
For the reasons because there was an amalgamation or it
so-
was still a world of maths in that very sense.
Yeah, to be very honest, that stood out when I looked at all of these courses everywhere in India. All economics departments, at least the good ones, were offering a really good level of maths in them. And it had to do, and my second option, of course, was maths honors. But taking up maths honors as a professional degree, I didn't see a future. Maybe it was wrong
was
on my
limiting.
part.
Yeah, it was
I
limiting.
didn't know
Yeah,
better than
yeah.
that. Economics, on the other hand, I saw had a lot of scope. I bet on it. To be honest, it's a risk I took at that age, saying I'll bet on this. I'll put my career on this. And that pivot changed my life from 2013 till today. This last 13 years, 12 years has always been about economics. And the way I view the world today has been impacted by this professional learning. And it has given me a new lens to look at how things around us work. And that, in a way, changed my life, I would say.
So you're still a scientist at heart, I would say. You're still figuring it out how the world is working around you.
I mean, yeah, I am a researcher at heart, very, very open about it. And once I took up economics, I did my bachelor's in economics from Delhi University. And then I worked for a while. And for a year, I even prepared for UPSC.
Oh. Oh my God, you were really trying to fit in, huh?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were really trying
Yeah.
to fit in.
Post that, I got into Delhi school. DSC, Delhi School of Economics, for my master's. And that again was a changing point in my life because after UPSC, I couldn't crack it after the mains. So I was like, what do I do now? And for me, education has always been a continuous aspect. Learning, you learn something, you try it out in real life, you realize what are you falling short of, you go back to education. Education, when I say, need not necessarily be a college. The internet today is a great example. So for me,
YouTube Academy,
yeah,
as I call it.
for me, it has always been that you learn something, you do it in real life, you get some success or you fail at it. You understand why you failed. Maybe you lacked something or maybe you weren't ready for it. You go back to the learning board, get some more learning experience, come back and do it again.
That's exactly what an Edison would do. That's exactly what an Einstein will do.
And that has been a motto throughout my life, I would say. And after that failed attempt at UBSC, I went back to the learning board. I said, let's equip myself with more knowledge of economics. Maybe there are better ways to understand economics. And the professors at DSE completely changed my way of looking at life. And DSE also prepares you for that corporate life because it makes you thrive in a very high pressure situation. And that first 2 semesters are life changing, especially for somebody who's coming from a work life or a UBSC life and then coming into this very high paced life. It's life changing for me. Again, that's my second incident in life. DSE again gave me that boost in life, I would say. And it helped me rediscover my interest for economics and helped me become a better researcher. And in my final semester, I think COVID happened. I was about to, like, I think it was March 2020, right? Yeah. And our final exams were online. And by the time I had got a campus placement and uh, I never wanted to get into the job. I thought, let's just sit for placements. It's an experience. You learn a lot of things. How do you sit at companies? What is the working culture of corporates and all of that? While I had a offer in hand, I was still looking out for research opportunities so that I can go ahead and do my PhD. And while this was happening, COVID hit and it was a state of uncertainty. And I thought, okay, instead of risking it everything, let's work in corporate for a while. You will have that first-hand experience of seeing how uh, the management structure, or be it the analytics that you pick up. So all of this were a really new dimension to
Even
add.
a core thing like decision making, how is that done really? Like what parameters of business analytics you kind of evaluate, and finally, who calls the shot and why do they call that shot?
Absolutely. Even teamwork, things like teamwork. So these are things which I wanted to add to my armor. I wanted to have that. Okay, I've done this, I've learned this from this, let's move on. Or maybe I continue there, who knows. And after that, I quit my corporate job at Citi. I was working as a business strategic analyst there. Uh, and then um, and then I started applying to research roles. I remember I had applied to approximately 75, 76.
Wow.
And I heard back from four. I am Ahmedabad, the Harvard EPOD. Um, I think a couple of others were IIT Bangalore, if I'm not wrong, and there was UNDP. And then by the time,
But great offers, huh?
yeah, good. I mean,
Great.
not offers. These are interviews.
Interviews,
Only
yeah.
four
At least you
people
got the calls.
calls,
Yeah,
four
yeah,
interviews.
yeah.
I'd applied to a lot of places, to be honest. By the time I had accepted, the other processes were complete. ePod had already offered me an offer. I said, yeah, let's do this. And 2 years, 2.5 years almost, I was with them. I was working with state government education department.
This is your stint at Harvard.
Yeah, this is my stint at Harvard.
Okay.
And we were working with the education department of a state government. I cannot name the government because of the research protocols. Um, we were working in how do we alleviate challenges that women face while entering the labor force after secondary schooling. So we were working with directly with government schools in that state with the help of the government to conduct randomized control trials, which is something, if I have to put it in an easy way, it's an A/B testing. So we did a very large scale RCT, and then we devised a program to help them enter the workforce. So all of this happened. We had good, promising results, I would say. And after this, I had gotten the opportunity to go to Germany to do my fellowship.
Right.
So I went to Germany. I did my fellowship. Big learnings, I would say. One of the biggest learnings for me was quality of life.
And I'm glad that came so early for you.
Yeah, it came very early. And of this, what came out for me is so I knew that slowing down life was important, but I wasn't sure how to be okay with it. And Germany taught me this. Apart from all the networking, the research angles that we did there, the biggest learning I would take away from this is it's okay to slow down life, and I learned how to be okay with it.
So that's a JOMO basically.
Yeah.
You learned the joy of missing out.
Yeah. And when I came back from Germany after my fellowship, I continued working with Harvard. And
Oh, you were working with Harvard
I
even
was,
while you were
I was
in
doing both.
Oh.
I used to wake up early in the morning
Wow.
to do the Indian timing work, and
Yeah.
then my fellowship group, and then in the evening again close down the work.
Wow, that's like two double shifts in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
day. Oh wow.
When I came back, I was offered this project in the northeastern part of a country. It was a sustainable impact project, and
This was with the
If-
government institute? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was with the government.
Government
It was,
institute.
yeah.
Okay.
And I did take it up for a moment, at least in my mind. But then I started thinking, is this what I want to be doing? Do I want to continue as a researcher, or do I, so that I can benefit, I can understand the system, probably improve efficiencies in the system, or do I want to come out and build systems myself in a way where want them to be functioning?
Yeah. Ramanujan, you do come across as someone who's a very reflective person in that sense. I think research is something that you personally also go into,
Yeah.
right? That understanding, analyzing what I'm good at. Do I really want to do this? Do I need to filter this out? Making those choices, which comes with after a lot of experience, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's like a great asset and skill to have. But pivoting from all of this and leaping into entrepreneurship, choice or chance? What is it for you?
It's a chance taken out of choice. That's what I would put it, to be very honest.
Only a researcher can give me an AI answer to it.
So, I mean, the reason I say that is, like, I was really thinking about how do I want to go ahead in life. Like, I have done stints in different hats in my life, as an academician, as a researcher, um, in a corporate stint, and I've tried my hand at trying to get into the government sector. So, I've seen a lot of faces in life. Now the question was, what can I do with all of this? Can I build something? Then the choice then comes in. Like, okay, I can take a chance, but this is an informed choice based on my experiences. What will I do of these experiences? I'll take a chance. And that chance is the entrepreneurship
So
journey.
if you were to really now, I mean, of course, it's a very very new journey. You're still a but
Yeah.
what should I say, an early stage startup.
Sure.
But putting together these experiences and still taking that as a very early choice, because all of that you have done, while it is a very deep dive and a depth work, but if we look at it in terms of the timeline,
Uh-huh.
these have been rather shorter
Uh-huh.
timelines. People stick around for, let's say, 3 years, 4 years, and you're jumping from one role to another with a lot of competence and skill, of course, that you have, and you're exploring that, which is duly fine. But does that not nerve you down a little, that am I taking this choice or making this decision too early?
That's a great question. I had this exact question when I was moving away from corporate, because that was a very comfortable place to be in. I was surrounded by a team who was happy for me to be there, by a manager who had always supported me. The perks that you get at the end of the
Like
month.
logically, nothing makes sense,
Yeah.
but intuitively, everything does,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, at the end of the month, you had salary being credited to your account. And what else did you need in life? And I was very afraid. I am being very honest here. I was super afraid. Uh, it's not a courage that is coming completely from me, not 100%. I had a family who was very supportive in my decisions. Uh, I had friends who with whom I can speak openly about this, and a family whom I could tell that, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is why I want to do this. What do you think? And my family has always been, go take a risk. And I think it comes from how my dad has seen his journey. He himself has taken a lot of chances, and that probably, so he has seen how chances have paid off for him in life, and he gives us the courage to take the chances for ourselves.
I'm going to definitely dive into this part of it. You said your father was a teacher
He was a government teacher.
and he did take a lot of risks. So,
Yeah.
how does that relate? Please tell us.
I mean, so he was a teacher. Which year was this? 92, 93, if I'm not wrong. Before my birth. He was teaching in.
My God, I've not had someone so young on the show yet. I am feeling old.
Sorry. So I don't know if you've heard of these Vidya Mandirs.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
called-
of course, of
Yeah,
course, of
so
course.
it's called Saraswati Vidya Mandir.
Yes, yes. They
So-
they prep you for the IITs and
No, no, no.
no,
These are
the plus two.
no. These are government schools. These are put up for people coming from the weaker socioeconomic backgrounds, and they charge like very minimal fees, and they try to So this was instituted in our country way back in '85, if I'm not wrong, and this was very prevalent back in the south. Yeah. And my dad, being him, he loved education. He was extremely passionate about it. He said, I'll work in a government school. I will help these students empower themselves with education. He believed in that very strongly. I mean, he believed in this so strongly that, I mean, I'll give you an example. This is the size of the house we were living in. This room, not even that, this room. Early morning, 5 o'clock, we had 13 students coming in for
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock in this space. There was a partition where I used to be asleep because I was 1 year old, 2 year old. This was, and all 13 used to sit there. They couldn't afford private education, and during school hours they used to come, but they used to be so tired because they used to work in their family business, like shops or wherever. So dad used to offer this free education for them in the morning. They used to come in the morning at
Right
5 o'clock.
up and fresh and bright.
Right,
So,
yeah.
and what a
This was
wow.
97, 96.
This is amazing.
I remember this. And such small things stick with you for your entire
I
life.
think these are the only things that
Yeah.
stick with you.
And these things show us that they inspire you to do something even more, I feel. And all of so government teacher, right? And he took his risk. He quit. He said, I'll open my own educational institutions. That he took that risk, and it did pay off for him. From being a teacher to owning his own educational institutions, it was a very tough journey. He felt that he could not be supportive enough of my education. So as a parent, he was very busy. So they believed education is important, not just for everybody outside, but for his own son. So they put me in a boarding school.
Oh.
And this was a very tough
Because
choice.
they knew that their environment or struggles will not allow them
Yeah.
to spend that kind of time because they have to make the ends meet.
Correct.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful.
And my mom was completely against it. My mom was, so I'll tell you, for my mom's side of the family, I'm the first male child in 4 generations. So for her, it was very difficult to give away her son. I know that today we don't talk about, but she comes from a mindset where male and female child differences are very strong, right? But today we are grown up, so we know that there is no difference between a male and a female. But for her, it was extremely difficult. And
Because she had to fit into the societal
Exactly.
This thing also,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And my dad wanted me to send me away.
Oh my God, this
I'm
is too
sorry.
emotional.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Please carry on. That's okay. Yeah.
And my dad, he believed in education be empowering somebody, and my mom was extremely emotional in this. So till today they have this fight which comes up that you sent him away and hence he's not home till today.
Oh.
Since then I've always been living outside, and that has been very difficult
Yeah.
for my family.
No, it's a big decision. It's a huge decision. It doesn't come naturally. It doesn't come easy. It's not something you can keep explaining yourself, and the time flies and life moves on. तो क्या आप आना चाहेंगे अनबाउंड विद ममता पे अनबाउंडिंग के लिए मेरे साथ? कोई स्टोरी, कोई आइडिया, कोई थॉट है आपके पास जो आप चाहते हैं कि दुनिया सुने, तो मुझे लिखिए unboundwithmamta@gmail.com. That is unboundwithmamtaa@gmail.com. या सिंपली हमारे किसी भी इंस्टाग्राम पोस्ट को या यूट्यूब के एपिसोड को लाइक, शेयर या अपने कमेंट्स भेजिए. We often think building a startup or being a founder is like a piece of cake. We think these are cynic people who are wanting to do something for the country for which maybe there is need or not. But what goes behind in making these people, what goes behind in influencing or giving them even that thought that they want to do something for their countries is what we are talking about today with Ramanujan, as he's one of the youngest guests on this show, continuing on his story, on his personal journey, and what has gone into the making of him, his family. Please continue. Sorry for that
No, no,
abrupt
it's
emotional burst, but I think it was very moving what you were
it's
sharing.
something that is very close to my heart as well, and it always keeps coming back to this point in my life. I feel, uh, like I was saying, this supportive endeavors that I've been getting from my family has helped me take these risks at every juncture of my life. I feel, and for my dad as well, what I feel is when I look back at, he's always been always I mean, no matter how hard the situation has gotten, he's never given up, and that is something is strongly imbibed in us. Ki do your best. So he always used to say this: give your best, forget about the results. Whatever will happen, it will happen. And his quote strikes a chord with me is, give your best, be prepared for the worst. And that has been my motto, I feel, forever, in tougher situations, especially when you think about that you have given everything you can, but the results are not in your favor. Then it
This is your resurrection point.
yeah,
You were sharing something about how your family has struggled it through. And of course, maybe you have got it a
yeah,
lot on your platter, but how it was never the case for them. So
absolutely.
tell me a little more about that, please.
In those early days, when I was born, for them it was important to meet ends, because for them, they did not. They were somebody who was coming from a village, right, in a very small remote village in East Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
It's
That's
called
where
Ram.
you come from. That's where your family
Family
is.
is
Oh,
from
is East Godavari in Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very small village. Back then, when my dad was doing his education, this was post independence. They still had a king living in the village. There's a huge palace still today which stands, although not in great shape. But that is the sort of village we're talking about. And the village did not have great education. My grandfather, he used to sell ice cream, and it's called pulla ice. Pulla means stick, yeah. Ice is ice, and how it used to work back then is, these big ice cream companies had one of the manufacturing unit in this village. The village is quite famous, to be honest, during the British era for its trade, because of the um, proximity to the coast, and
Like a hub, like a
yeah,
trade
yeah,
hub.
trade
Yeah,
hub.
yeah.
So, and also because of the inland water system, trade was quite prevalent during that time. So you had these, not huge, but in those times a huge one, a manufacturing unit where they wanted to sell ice creams. And what used to happen is they used to have these local network of workers who used to take it in their sandboxes. Sandboxes was there so that ice cream does not melt, right? They used to have it in the sandboxes, and they used to go to each house with that sound.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, we have seen this kind of a thing with kulfi walas, right?
exactly.
They would,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, and they used to go there, and they used to
Like
sell the
street to street,
street to
house
street,
to
house to house.
house.
Yeah. What happened was, back then there was a system of credit, even which prevails today also. So the ice cream vendors always got ice creams on credit, and they used to tell them that they sold off all of it, and they used to get money for it, right? But the problem was the company never had credible. They've got credibility issues from the network, because what these ice cream vendor people used, they used to say that हमने बेच दिया, this is the money we got, take it, and they used to take the ice cream cost for it. Now there arose an issue, how they were not sure whether the ice cream network distributors Are they selling it or are they doing something else with it? They were consulting people, how can we solve this problem? My grandfather, he came up with a solution. Ask all of your network people, like he was part of them, right? But he was honest, I would say. So he said, ask all of these people to bring back the sticks, the pulla. So you can count how many did they sell. And that's where his journey started. He got a reward for this idea, and he started his own, with this money that he got, he started his own small sort of a I wouldn't call it a restaurant, but a place where people could come and eat. And he started this because he himself used to go every day in the morning at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock away from the home to sell the ice cream, right? His wife used to, my grandmother, used to box meals. He used to put rice and on top of that curry and pack, and he used to take it and eat in the sun. So he felt that when you're having lunch, you need shade. So that's where he started this small sort of a jopadi sort of a thing, I would say, where he said people can just come and sit here and you can eat food. You get your food in your lunch boxes.
Shack, we will call it.
Today's shack, I would say. And he started this system.
Yeah.
A few years down the line, the government announced a bus stop
Okay.
very, very close to this shack.
Shack. Okay.
And this was a city bus stop, like our Kashmiri Gate,
Yeah,
ISBT.
yeah.
And all the buses used to come and halt there.
Oh, so it's thrived. His work
Exactly.
thrived. Oh, wow.
And he decided that there are a lot of bus drivers and conductors who used to get food from home, but they used to drive very long distances, and the food used to get soggy and cold. He thought, I can do something for this. And in the shack, he started cooking food. And this food was then sold to people who came there. Some of them had their own food. For some, it was just they used to get rice. He used to serve the curry for them. So it started with this very small entrepreneurial venture, I would say.
I think service. I think
Yeah,
the
he wanted
core
to
of it
serve.
was to serve, right? Yeah.
And for him, there is this lady in the village. She's very famous, actually. I can't recall her name. She used to serve free meals for anybody who passes by her gate. So she started this free service meals, and that is where my grandfather also got the inspiration from. He started this free service for all of these people. Back then, he used to not charge anything for all of this. The shack was free. You could just come and sit, and somebody gets just right, serve curry. So all of this started turning into a venture, and it started. Now he needed some support so that he can support all of these people around him. He needed some money for all this. And that's where what he did was he took a plate, he punched a hole in it, and he said, you can put your rice inside this, and it's easy to eat.
It kind of becomes like a deeper. Yeah.
And he did this, nothing not great, any engineering skills or something, just on the spot jugaad, I would say.
Yeah. Being a true blue South Indian guy that you are, and you're here in the food business, what are you serving or solving or setting yourself to do for the society now?
I have been a first-hand experience to something else in the food industry. Not getting good food, healthy food with the right value for money. Because I've been living outside my home for good 2006 onwards. Since then, I've been outside. Almost. Having a home meal is a luxury for me. It was never the default because I have been always outside the home. Having a home meal became a luxury in a sort, luxury in quotes again. At least I was in the hostel, but the food was good, but not great. Not like a home meal, I would say. Even when I came to Delhi for my education back in 2013, it was not an easy ride, especially when it comes to food.
You know, something stuck a chord with him, and he said, now, with all that learning that I've aggregated, let me put it to
Something that I have personally
feel
for a very
long time. Oh, very interesting.
And that's where the first entrepreneurial journey, I feel, food somehow vibed with me, is what I would say. We are not just building a business, we're building a living ecosystem. When I say this, what I mean is we're building a chain right from the farm to the table,
So
to
this
the
is
fork.
under food,
Yeah.
food lane that
Yeah.
you are doing,
Food lanes.
and then you have a brand called Charminar
Charminar Lanes is a brand under the
brand under
company.
the
Yeah.
company. So tell us about the company Food Lane and then Charminar.
Sure. I mean, before that, I think I want to give you a context of the entire ecosystem and where does food lanes fit in. Yeah. When I look at the entire food ecosystem, from growing to your plate to ready to eats, we want to build an entire ecosystem here where we are growing the food ourselves. When I say we, the company, the business model, of course, is different, but uh, we grow our own food, be it urban farms, where it is what we are envisioning. We use this produce to cook all sorts of cuisines. We serve it through our both models, offline, online. Online is through dark kitchen model, where the delivery network is not ours, but the platform through which we take orders is ours. So we're building a multi-card food delivery platform. And an offline channel, this would be a entirely different setup. This you can think of a premium offering as compared to our offline. And to take it a next step forward, we also want to integrate ready to eats into this chain. So the entire ecosystem, starting from what this does is it creates wealth locally. And the value that we create here is circulated in this chain. How I am thinking about this is, if you think of a farmer who can produce and at the same time get the actual value for him, because there is somebody in the chain who's already buying from him, and that entire produce is utilized by us. So we want to bring in different players at different angles and build this ecosystem.
So in this ecosystem, of course, at various junctures, you have different pocket of audiences that you're catering to
Absolutely.
as well, right? So don't you think it's too much that you have bitten to chew on, or there is a way that you have sort of broken it down for yourself?
So this is a long-term vision, right? We start off small always. We don't want to bite into more than what we can handle. So this is where the food lanes part comes in. So we have picked up one element of it. We have actually picked up the other element also. A couple of years back, we started sustainable urban farming through aeroponic and hydroponic methods. These are urban farms where the produce is readily available and grown in cities.
So you were testing the grounds any which way.
Yes.
Okay,
So
understood.
we started there. We saw that we were way too early to the market. We let that piece be there. We have a team who's thinking about this, saying, yeah, that part is happening. Now we said, okay, that part we're too early, but there's an existing market which we can already get into, which is the ghost kitchens and the outlets. Here, we're not doing something very revolutionary in the sense that nobody is doing this. I'll not say that.
But you're doing it differently.
We're doing it differently.
Yeah.
We're looking at brands from a data point of view. We're looking at what does the customer want today. How should each brand? What are the offering? The offerings that we decide in our brand are not just cuisine specific. They're also data driven in the sense that we are offering hyper local requirements. So, for example, our multi-branded ghost kitchens. Let's say we have 3 brands working out of Malviya Nagar. Example. Not necessarily you will see all 3 brands in Gurgaon. Primarily because the Gurgaon market does not require this. So these are hyper localized brands.
So in those markets, it's a specific region. Maybe there are club sandwiches that are working, or a kachori or a samosa shop is working, but somewhere else in another demography and geography, something else will be working.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
So
Okay.
that is how we are picturing our ghost kitchens.
Excellent.
And each brand itself is hyper localized.
Okay.
So,
So
for example,
Charminar Lane
is
comes
one of
in,
the brands.
is one of the brands.
And
Okay.
Charminar Lane serves authentic Hyderabadi food.
Okay. And where can we find it?
Right now, we are in three locations. A third location is Gurgaon. All of them are ghost kitchens.
Okay.
One is Malviya Nagar, two is Satyaniketan, and three is Gurgaon.
So these are outlets or again
These are ghost kitchens.
dark kitchens.
Dark kitchens.
So, but how do we order food?
I mean, we're available on all the food aggregator platforms.
Okay, so you are there on Zomato,
Swiggy, Magic Pin, name it, and we're there.
All right.
All
so
of them.
so when we will look up for Charminar on these platforms,
Charminar Lanes.
Charminar Lanes, then we would get it as like nearby kitchen kind of option,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
Oh, superb.
Yeah.
And so it's something like a home kitchen, right? That you are available to that vicinity, to that audience in that
Absolutely.
geography.
Yeah.
And that too with that localized flavor.
So,
and
flavor is not localized.
yeah.
What is hyper-localized
Like,
is the
just
needs of the
needs
consumer.
of the consumer.
So, for example, our Charminar Lanes, we offer authentic Hyderabadi
So
cuisine.
what did the data point to you?
Right. So, when we looked at Delhi, we saw some hotspots where Hyderabadi cuisine is taking off.
All right.
And we picked these hotspots.
Okay, so depending on the palette,
Absolutely.
you are picking up the choices of the kitchens.
Absolutely.
It's not like because I am good at it, so I am doing
No,
it
no,
like
no, no.
that.
We're
Oh
not doing
wow!
that.
So there is AI in
Not AI, we are using a good level of data. We're putting it to use through our tools that we have.
Yeah.
And in the background, there are teams who are continuously crunching the numbers, looking at how can we make this work in this region.
So you basically approach the business the other way around, that we know that this distribution platform is available, this insight on data is available, and now let's cater to
Absolutely.
it. Oh wow!
Yeah. See, sometimes what happens is this approach
It's a top-down approach.
It's a top-down approach. But you need to sometimes create brands which are aspirational also. And that cannot come simply by looking at data, because aspirational brands...
That never comes from looking
Yeah.
at data. That comes from your gut, your instinct.
Exactly.
Maybe some need gap that you
Yeah.
identify.
So, for
and-
example,
yeah.
when I look at McDonald's, Burger King, etc.,
Yeah.
one thing which is common in the last 6 months across all of these brands is a Korean flavor.
Yeah, because Korean is the
Exactly.
the K word has really come into our
Absolutely.
life.
Yeah.
From skincare, from Korean drama series to now Korean food.
Absolutely. And they are somebody who's following closely with the market trends. And they have teams in the background who are continuously redeveloping products based on the needs of the consumer. So I want to be a consumer first approach. I want to understand what is it the foodie in the ground wants to eat.
Right.
And
Not like what I am ready to serve, and therefore then
that's not necessarily true always, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes, see, I am not a chef who's wants to serve what I cook. On a lighter note, I do cook, but not something that I can serve to people.
yeah.
But we are looking at consumer first approach.
Very nice. Your favorite food.
Biryani at the first spot, probably. For sure. I think it's a comfort place which I always keep going back to, no matter what part of the life I am in. So I think I would put that at the top. Yeah.
Let's take it from the food point of view. Never have you ever?
Oh, crazy. Oh, please. I have seen somebody make a chocolate biryani and I said, never am I ever going to try this.
So your favorite go-to book?
No, I don't want to pick favorites here. I'll just tell you what I'm reading currently. It's the story of Theo Brahma.
Something which is your own coined word or terminology or quote that you kind of come back to when you are down and out.
Be the change you want to see. And I think I took it way too personally. And every time I wanted something around me to change, I said I should be the first person to see that change happen through me. So that's one big thing, I think.
Your biggest fear factor, something that you fear the most in life.
Losing out on people around me. I think people are a very important part of my life.
Biggest challenge, like you had to really fight it out with yourself. Just maybe a word or a sentence.
I think the jump to the entrepreneurial journey, I thought there is always a set of rules that are to be followed, and I was always limited by them. Internally, at least, I felt
Someone who is inspired or you've idolized the most in your life?
hands down, without any thought, my dad.
If it was not to be entrepreneurship and not food, anything else that you fit yourself into?
Yes, I would.
Sports, of course,
Sports,
being
yeah.
one.
And a physicist, probably.
Quickly, something you want to tell to your 16-year-old self today.
Make more mistakes, be a little bit more calm, like maintain your composure, it will work out. Take more rest and be more composed, I think.
If you were to revisit this planet again, another life, another lifetime, what would you choose and why?
I am
Just-
surprised you asked this question.
Just answer this. I don't know. It just came to me.
No, I'll tell you why.
Because you were having some reflections on that.
Last July, I think I sent her also a photo of this. There was a cow feeding off the grass with beautiful breeze flowing, blue skies, 20 degree temperature, this beautiful hydrangeas growing everywhere on the road. I clicked a picture of this. I sent.
This is an actual
This
scenario.
is in Azores. This is in Portugal. It's an island off the coast of Portugal.
Okay.
Beautiful breeze, brilliant, and there's this water body that is blue color. And I clicked a photo of this, sent it to my friend, saying, "If I want to be reborn, I want to be this cow."
Oh, wow.
So this is something that has actually happened last July.
Last
So
July.
I am surprised that you asked this question.
There's no coincidences. Everything comes for a meaning. It comes for a purpose. And thank you so much for really unfiltering yourself, unbounding yourself, sharing your joy, your journey, your purpose with us. It's been a fabulous conversation, Ramanujan.
Really, I mean, again, this conversation brought in a lot of things inside me which I have forgotten for a very long time because of what has been happening in the life so far. And thank you very much for having me here. It's been wonderful speaking to you. I hope I'm here more often.
Absolutely. We'll
And-
see a lot more of you. We want to track your journey. We want to go back to what you're creating, building, pivoting all the time. So welcome back all the time. And
Sure.
thank you so much for this
Thank
time.
you so much.
Let's keep unbounding together.